Good evening and welcome to part one of the Real Housewives of Durban reunion. Londi, I want to ask you, have real friendships been formed here?
I thought so.
The question on everybody's lips, Thobile. What did you hear?
Okay then, The Real Housewives of Durban Season 2, review of Episode 13, The Reunion Part 1. Thobile calls LaC the devil. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so, let's go through the major events of this season. We had the Spring Has Sprung, where Annie misheard Nonku's mom, and Nonku was tipsy by her own admission. We had the black tie, where Viv was a no-show. We all know the black tie was all about impressing Viv. Anyway, we had the sexy scary. LaConco looked like Scoto, but Asiko Lapo. Khomotso and Thobile looked very uncomfortable. Sadlula Lapo. We had the intervention. People were concerned with Nonku's drinking and they confronted her. But Asiko Lapo, because they withdrew the intervention anyway, and they apologized. And then there was Nambiti, where all the drama happened and not enough fun was had. Who knew this would dominate the reunion part 1? But anyway, moving on, Jojo came for Mabusi. Remember when she summoned Mabusi to her house, started questioning her about all the handbags and stuff? Yeah, there was that. And then we had Istevese and Tombi, where Mabusi came late and Nonku came for Mabusi. Like, why are you so late? And are you even invited to the trip? So they went to Sun City, and it's called the Betrayal at the Palace. Okay, we had this whole kumbaya with Nonku, and Nonku was fully embraced by Sorisha. Hooray! And then Petal Gate escalated. We saw Jojo crying over it, and then LaC was voted out of Survivor, and everybody seemed to be rejoicing about that. And then we had Watergate, which I suspected, or rather expected, it would be addressed first and foremost, but no. Is what I would say to describe the first reunion episode of The Real Housewives of Durban Season 2. At first I thought would be the word, but after watching episode 5 of The Real Housewives of Lagos, I was even more disappointed with the Durban franchise. I got questions, but like, Ginemibuzo, number 1. Where was this Thobile during the episodes? Like, the extra footage that didn't make it into the episodes is proof that there's an agenda here. Someone is working an angle on us. We would have seen this side of Thobile all along if they had wanted it to show. But someone is manipulating us. Question number 2. Who stole Thobile's Dior fragrance in Nambiti? The 3 ladies that were changing in Thobile's room have to answer. And question number 3. Why was this reunion not themed? Like, did the castmates piece off their stylists? The fashions were just not giving. They were not giving. Even Nonku had a nice dress, but I don't know what the pantyhose was about. I mean, Chioma's dinner in Abuja on The Real Housewives of Lagos had more fashions than this reunion. Question number 4. What exactly are these things LaC and Londi talked about for hours and hours on end? And why is Londi now denying that she said LaC told her stories about Petal and that they were in-laws and everything that are now different from what she was telling the ladies in Sun City? We want to know, Pela. What exactly, question 5A, what exactly did LaC say or do to warrant being called usathane? I mean, having been called usathane before myself, I totally understand firsthand what it does to a person. I mean, I would have called Phaedra Parks usathane. I would have called Ukenya more usathane on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Emva kwezigameko enkulu abazenza. So I want to hear about lesigameko esikhulu kangaka salaConco. Because as far as I know, LaConco didn't like the way Thobile acted like she didn't know her at Vuma FM when they had just attended a wedding, Kamselegu, and Thobile was warm and welcoming towards LaConco. Question 5B, did I miss something here? No, on a serious note, like, if you guys know something that I don't, except for the hug at the reunion, please do tell, because usathane is such, maybe vocabulary, angaz. Somebody, please fill me in. Question number 6. Why didn't production capture the nasty conversation at Nambiti? I mean, that would clear things once and for all for us. Because of all the nasty things that were said there, Thobile only mentioned that they were scared of Ueni and they were jealous of Ujojo. Nothing else. So I don't know what's the nasty part because she didn't say it. Or maybe those are the nasty things. I don't know. But okay. Question number 7. Had Nonku not folded, would they still be denying their rudeness towards Osorisha? Because as much as I feel for them, they had a hard time on the road. Mabusi, LaConco, and Nonku didn't need to be rude to Sorisha. I mean, their apology to her was long overdue, in my opinion, and Sorisha shouldn't have been the person to direct their anger to. You know what I'm saying? Question number 8. Do you feel like some people were coached on how to handle themselves during their reunion? Haibo. Pelu Jojo became a church mouse. Hands up if you feel like the whole Sun City Watergate thing was downplayed. I expected it to be front and center as soon as Mabusi walked in. Because Pela, okay, wamthela ngamanzi, and that's not something minor. That's not something you can just ignore. I can't shake the feeling that there's a get with us or leave the show click, and it's spearheaded by UN. Mark my words, mark my words. You know, when Sorisha started explaining that Annie was bullied, and because of Annie's hair, when she studied overseas, blah blah blah, I knew they were tricking us. I knew it. This should come as no surprise to all of you. I really don't like consuming toxic content. So I think this will probably be the last season that I am reviewing with you all. I probably won't even be watching season 3, y'all. Like, you are what you eat. You are what you consume, after all. Watching rich men's wives get dressed up to go and drag each other as a form of entertainment, it's just not it for me. I'm sorry. I cannot participate. And all these things that are now being forgotten. The focus is now on LaConco, who is booked and busy, by the way. She's doing all things that Umogel has set her sights to doing. And I think there's a bit of jealousy there. Even the bit at the beginning about, oh, we almost had to fly you in. And then she said, no, I flew myself back. Like, somebody is pissed off at LaC. I wonder what she did. Perhaps that person is not really pissed off at LaC, but at Ubaba. I see a lot of comments on social media directed at Ubaba, but people are knocking LaC. So, well, she was engaged to the guy, but it doesn't mean that everything about her has to do with Uzuma. Come on, people, let's learn to separate people. Let's learn to just deal with LaC as LaC, not as Zuma's what. Because I think that's where all the animosity is coming from, and all the people that are calling for LaC to be booted off the show were low-key hoping that she would come onto the show and trash Jacob Zuma, because it was all over the news that she was suing Jacob Zuma for maintenance. So it only makes sense that they wanted him dragged on national TV on a reality show. Like, how low can you go, people? How low can you go? Anyway, enjoy the rest of the season. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode of the reunion. Ciao. Have a good week. Bye.